everybody. So today is June 1st on Monday, and I wanted to talk to you about, well, a couple of things because obviously 2020 has not been the easiest year so far. And many of you, if not all of you that are listening to this message, have been negatively impacted by one of the big events we have had already this year. Including, I have some clients who have been impacted because they have suffered losses this year, or maybe at the end of last year. For me, it was losing two very close friends, my health issues that I'm faced and I'm forced to look at. And then, of course, the worrying to have two kids in college with the virus, the pandemic happening, and then the protests. So there's a lot of happening, and it does feel like 2020 is one punch after the other. So more than ever, it's going to be important for you to stay grounded and really keep that positive attitude because it's going to be hard. You are being challenged. If it's not all of the events that have impacted you, it's definitely one of them. And social media, the news, and everything that we get bombarded on a regular basis is not helping. But I want to talk to you to let you know that you can make a stand. You can stand up for what you believe without falling into a spin or without falling into a negative attitude, which, by the way, negative attitude does not find a solution to a problem. A negative attitude keeps you stuck because you cannot have faith and believe in a positive outcome if you have a negative attitude. You see, if you look at the leaders in the past, those that have made some incredible changes to us, those who will be always known for being the incredible leaders that they were, they always had positive attitude. They always had a foundation of faith, of belief, a conviction that they could make a difference and that the difference would be a positive outcome. I mean, I like to talk a lot about or use as my mentors Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Dr. Martin Luther King, all of those people, and Kennedy, all of those people. It doesn't matter from one political side you are standing. All of those people have one thing in common. They could move a crowd into a better future. They had hope. They had belief. There was positivity radiating from them. And I truly think that is what we are missing right now. I mean, I look at for the past few years, when is the last time we had any leader that really not only talked about a brighter future, that people truly believe that we could do it? And I think that's why now we are so separated. And we can only go through this separation with anger and attack and bullying. And if you don't belong in my camp, then you are an enemy. Or if you don't have the same value than I do, then we can never be ally. Why? I mean, I look at Mother Teresa. She had no political investment. She was a strong Catholic, but she never made her effort to help those in need to be about religion. It didn't matter who was Catholic, who was not. She did not shame you for not being. She did not turn her back on you if you were not Catholic. It didn't matter to her. She accepted everyone for who they were, regardless of where they belong, which camp they belong. And now that is what we are missing. We are missing this belief that we can go to a more positive future, that yes, we have faith. We have lost our faith. We have lost the way that we all connected to each other. You see, a negative attitude is only fueled by pessimism. It's only fueled by a negative opinion that people have about their life, about life in general or about judgment that they place onto others. There cannot be anything positive when people are stuck in a negative attitude, too busy to rip each other apart, too busy to be angry without having faith to believe that the anger could actually be a catalyst for a better future. A positive attitude as a foundation of, I believe, faith. Because when you are changing something and you're going to the unknown, you have to have faith that you can get there. You have to have faith that you can actually take that risk. And you have the confidence that you have the strength to make it through. Because remember, as people, going into the unknown is very scary for us. We have no knowledge of the unknown because it never happened. And we have no knowledge on how we're going to end up being once all of the changes are over. Are we going to be okay? Are we going to be financially okay? Are the people going to abandon us? Whatever it is, all of those fears take over. So there are two things that really can keep you grounded into this time of uncertainty and fears and plainly craziness at times. There's only two things. It's knowing that there are non-physical energies that are much stronger than all of us, and we have the faith, whether you want to call it God, your ultimate intelligence, the ultimate divine energy, God power. We all connected to that source. And you have to have the faith that when you don't know, a part of you have that certainty as that intuition or that inner voice that tells you, I'm going to figure it out. And then there's another point that helps me to move towards changes. It's the visualization. Where do you want to go to? Are you just surviving day after day without a clear understanding of where you want tomorrow to be? Or are you just surviving because you are so angry at whatever happened in your life or in the world, and you just want to let out all of this anger, all of this frustration? You see, visualization is really what is going to help you to get to a better tomorrow. If you're just surviving out of anger, frustration, depression, you don't visualize anything, you will actually create a tomorrow full of depression, anger, frustration, confusion. There's nothing positive that can come out of a negative attitude, a negative mindset, a judgmental mindset. Remember, when you judge people, then you also think that everybody is judging you, because we measure people from our own lenses. Just like liars believe everybody lies, cheaters believe everybody cheats, etc. So when you feel what people are doing without any proof, without any backup, then it's time for you to look at yourself. What is it about you that makes you fearful that everybody else is doing it? Now, that's a tough one, right? Because we don't like to look at ourselves and say, oh, yeah, I have a negative attitude. That's what it is. We don't like to look at ourselves saying, well, yeah, I'm a cheater. That's why I'm afraid everybody's cheating. We don't like that. But unless you are willing to look at yourself raw, to look at yourself naked, then how can you truly put all of this into your conscience and finally change it? Change the thought pattern or the behavior that is keeping you in a negative attitude. I call it consciously living, consciously loving, consciously dying. You see, we are not conscious. We don't like it. We want to actually attack, judge, bully, belittle people that we feel are not on our side. How is that having a positive attitude? How is that going to change anything? So, yes, having faith is so vital. Visualizing, knowing that you're going to be okay is so vital. because we all are a part of one infinite mind. That is how we live daily, as a thought that we are connecting and sending. You see, the energy that you are putting out through your thought process is what you are sending to others. If I complain, and if I'm negative, and if I'm depressed, most likely, guess who I'm going to be meeting? People who are also a lot of time depressed, a lot of time dramatic or negative. You see, that is how we all connect. People say, why do I always attract the same type of person? Well, there's something about you that is putting out that energy. You want to change it? Then look at you and do the change within you through changing the foundation, through changing your thoughts, through changing what you are putting out. Move into a positive attitude. Make changes. Pick a passion. Pick something that you want to absolutely take on that is bigger than you. And we have plenty to take on. But do it with a positive attitude. Use the anger that you are feeling, the frustration, the irritation to be the catalyst for something positive for a better tomorrow. You see, it is my belief that our ultimate energy, God, our angels, our spiritual guides are all about peace, wisdom, calmness, positive. So I don't know how we would connect to those with them if we are so angry all the time. Your vibration cannot be equal to them. So you're going to have to do some spring cleaning and realize I have all of this energy pent up within myself. I have so much frustration. What am I going to use to put out there so I can make a difference? It's like a huge ball of energy. Use it for something bigger, for something positive, instead of wasting it just to stay in a negative attitude, just to stay in fears, in frustration, in a reality that may not be true. Because, unfortunately, when we are stuck in a negative attitude, our reality is pretended, is made up. It's a pretended reality. Because sometimes the facts do not add up. You know, we will say things like, well, I know you may not have meant it this way, but that's how I took it. And I'm entitled to that because that's my own feeling. So I want to tell you that whatever you said, even though I trust you didn't mean it that way, I took it that way. So now you have to validate me. And to that, I'm saying, wait. If you know I didn't mean it in a negative way, why don't you want to change your filter, your inner filter, so it doesn't keep on happening? Why do you want to expand so much negative energy when you know, or part of you know, it was actually not negative? I mean, think about it for a second. If I have a filter that is too small, so it cannot let water go through, do I want to complain at whatever the faucet is? Do I want to keep on changing the faucet, which it doesn't matter what I put there, the filter will still not let the water through? Or do I want to say, I need to change the filter? Because whatever translation I am putting in regarding this specific situation does not work from me. It's negative. It does not allow me to move to a better me. It does not allow me to get out of my negative hole and to finally go on the top of the mountain, which frankly, the view is a lot more open. The view is much more, the possibilities because of the view being so open is a lot better. Instead of staying in the trenches and the only thing you see is dirt. So what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Do you want to stay with a negative attitude foundation? Or do you want to use everything that is happening in 2020 so you can fuel all of this energy that you have into something positive? I'm going to all leave you with something. It is my belief that everything happened for a reason. Everything, and sometimes it's very hard to accept situation because it sounds so evil. But every situation, every challenges, every evil things that happen in our physical life is to highlight a weakness that we still have, including with yourself, maybe with your relationship, maybe with your career, your business, your boss. Everything happen to highlight something you need to deal with. It could be as a society, it could be as a community, it can be within a family, or it can be just within you. And those things, whether it's pandemic, whether it is violence that lead to the loss of someone's life, things that sometimes we can control and sometimes we cannot, but at the end of the day, it highlights a weakness that we must deal with. So I want to leave you all with that. What weakness is 2020 highlighting for you? It could be the way maybe you process information can be better. It can be that within the family you start fighting because you feel you're in different camps, which highlights tolerance, lack of communication. It could be that as a community, as a state, as a society, you feel there's something that can be improved, and maybe you now have the opportunity to take that on. But at the end of the day, you must raise your consciousness in order to rise above the problem, or you can never be objectively seeing that problem. You can't. If you are too caught up in the hurricane, you cannot objectively see the hurricane because you are too caught up surviving. So you have to rise above the problem. But in order to do that, you have to be consciously aware of the problem within a society, within a community, within yourself, within a family, within your relationship, within your career. What impact do you have? Because if something infuriates you, how can you rise above it to be able to make a difference? How can you turn your negative attitude into a positive attitude? How can you turn some healthy emotions for something that will make a difference tomorrow? How do you visualize it? How do you rise above your fears and keep the faith? Keep having faith. And realize that as you have faith, as you know you can make a difference, as you have a clear hope idea about how you're going to go into tomorrow, you want to then give thanks to your God power that is within you for the elevation of your consciousness. And you want to remember that every day, because at the end of the day, through the power we have from within us that is all connected into the non-physical world, your consciousness can rise above the current problem. You just have to be consciously aware about what you can do about this problem. Because if you feel out of control, you can never rise above it. Can I truly fix something when I feel out of control? Can I truly make a difference in a situation that I feel, what can I do? No, of course not. So even though we have had some very, very, very tough situation, I want you all to remember that problem arises because it has to highlight for all of us a new growth of consciousness. It has to push us to a new growth of consciousness. So let's not ask what is wrong. Let's ask, how am I going to fix it? And if I cannot fix the entire problem, what can I do to participate into a more positive tomorrow? And what I'm doing now is actually making a difference. So think about all of that, guys. This is all about consciousness, consciously living, consciously moving, accepting, being, have faith, visualize. So I didn't pull anything right now because I think this was an important lesson. And I'm going to leave you with Carl Jung quote that is so true. One doesn't solve problems, one outgrows them. Think about this for a second. Some people can deal with so much and they are still positive, alive, motivated, moving. while some other people, for half of the problem, they just fall apart because one doesn't solve problems, one outgrows them. Thank you, everyone. I know this was a different talk, as I said, and I hope it helped because that's my goal. My goal is to make this difference, is to help all of you to maybe see situation a little bit differently so we can positively make a difference into our life, into our community, into our society. So let me know what you all thought about this, and thank you and have a great week.